Hey guys, how's it going? So, yeah, regarding my post that I was putting on mass immigration, right? So, a lot of people were trying to think that I was trying to kiss white people's ass, right? But that's not true. As someone born and raised in Canada, 1996, has had family living here in the 80s. When our families came here in BC, they worked in the very small towns because a lot of them needed people to work in the lumber mills. A lot of those hard jobs were jobs that Sikhs did, very dangerous, manual labor. The machines weren't very safe. I know a couple Punjabi uncles that work in the mills. Some of them have lost parts of their fingers and stuff working in the mills. On top of that, just walking to work, they didn't have vehicles at that time. They'd be fingered, called a Hindu, Paki, go back to your country, very blatant. As someone who has parents who were immigrants and family that has been living here in the 80s, I have no issues with immigrants coming in. Canada's a country of immigrants, to be honest. Besides the First Nations, the Indigenous people, none of us have any say. People like to say, well, the Europeans were the ones who built it. White people were the ones that built it. Yeah, they did. I'm not disacknowledging that. But if we look a little bit more deeper into it, Chinese, Japanese, Punjabis in BC were exploited. Syrian, Lebanese history in the prairies such as Saskatchewan is unknown. There was tons of Syrian and Lebanese there. And then you had Black Nova Scotians who played a large role. They've been there for over 100 years. You gotta also remember this when they say Europeans built Canada. Minorities were coming in that time. Canada would be a more diverse country today if they did not limit. Look up Chinese head tax, Japanese internment camps, Kamaragara Maru, which sent a ship of Punjabi Sikhs back 100 years ago. I have always fought against racism. I faced it myself, and I've actually had to fight quite a bit back with racism when I was growing up. Racism was so bad that some people, to get work, they wouldn't give Sikhs jobs. A lot of them couldn't wear their turbans back in the 70s and 80s in BC. Some of them cut their beards, cut their hair. So yeah, growing up myself, I didn't really have a beard or turban, and when growing it, there was a lot of insecurity amongst like the older other Punjabi people because they were stuck in the past of how they were treated. It's not like we just took the abuse. There was a lot of fighting back amongst Punjabis. They got fed up in a lot of small towns, and that's why there's a major, still today, that racism affects us Punjabis, whereas the non-practicing Sikhs, notably because of warrior aspects in our faith, the ones that cut their hair don't have the Sikh appearance, they get involved in gangs, because Punjabi gangs have been in BC since the mid-80s, and that's still carrying on. Like, the effects won't break off until we cure from the past damages that have happened. So when it comes to kissing white people's bums, hell no. I respect white people who respect us, and that respect we gained over time because we worked hard. We proved them that we're not just from some poor country that was colonized. India was called the Golden Board. The only reason a lot of us non-Europeans are coming into the lands now is because of all the resources and stuff that were colonized. You like to say that they civilized it, right? No, you guys did not civilize it. There were civilizations in the Middle East. There's deep civilizations in Africa, the Indus Valley civilization. You have civilizations in South America when they say that the indigenous people are not civilized. What about all the civilizations such as the Aztec Empire? You have all those empires in Peru, Brazil. A lot of people like to say that, they could have fought back. Yeah, they were kicked out in many nations because inventions, a lot of people like to say that inventions were mostly from the West or Europe, but a lot of the inventions that we use today are actually from Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. It's not spoken about. So the thing that basically I'm trying to say is why I'm against mass immigration is that reputation that our people had to bring front. Even though we faced a lot of racism, we gained a lot of respect in BC. In BC, Sikhs are most accepted. BC, Asians, Indians, Punjabis were respected in BC because we proved ourselves. A lot of racist comments on some posts that I've seen on Toronto News because they posted my video on mass immigration. A lot of these people don't know we've been here for 100 years. Sikhs have been in BC for hundreds of years. Search up on Google Maps. Just search up on Google Maps Sikh BC Gurdwaras. You'll see them in very, very small towns. So for these Albertans, Ontarians, people from Manitoba and stuff, we've been here for a long time. Bring that same mentality and talk to most BC white people and they'll laugh at you. You guys like to talk about Canadian history and stuff, right? And this is just for the racists. I'm not saying all white people are like this. A lot of you guys are good. But for a lot of you white folks, you guys got to learn your history. And for a lot of the Europeans, I just want to mention one. Search up racism that Germans faced during the World Wars. They were white. They were not considered Canadians. Italians and Irish were not considered white either. Italians in North America, for my knowledge in the Americas, there was some lynchings of Italians. Literally, Irish were not allowed in pubs. They say Irish, no, not need to apply, not allowed in bars. They were called the N-word, Eastern Europeans, Ukrainians. So racism is an issue that's always been there. This country needs immigration. It's just that you got to understand a lot of the immigrants right now are being exploited. We're not Canadians like myself. I'm going to say I'm a Canadian because we have a lot of history here. I'm not going to let any white racist mofo supremacist tell me I'm not. I'll say it straight to their face. I'm a Canadian. And so are the people that are coming now. But when you have mass migration, it's hard for them to integrate. And that's an issue that we've had in the past as well. But when it coming to immigrants being exploited, yes, they are. Because they pay triple the fees. They are told a different thing about what Canada is. You have international student suicides that are there. I'm looking at their aspect of it too. So we can't be selfish and just say we're suffering. Everybody is. But I'm gonna leave it here. I'll speak as how it is. I'm gonna speak of how it is. I'm not gonna let anybody shut my mouth because that's what we're taught in our faith. We're taught in our faith is you speak the truth. You're not afraid to speak the truth. It's better living the truth, right, and dying than it is to lie and just walk around just being a faker. I'll say it now, and I'll say it again. Sikh Valley is a line of Canadian values. If you look at our teachings, see why we wear the dastar. A lot of people don't like that we wear the karpan. You see us why we wear the karpans, why we don't cut our hairs. A lot of people like to talk about my eyebrows, my beard while I'm not trimming and stuff. But you know what? We're that confident enough to go about being ourselves because we respect how the Lord has created us. That's why we don't cut it. We have that confidence. We are not imperfect. But most of the world is living according to that lie. Sikhs believe Nanak Naam Chaddi Kala Tere Paane Sabrat Tapala, which basically means at the end of our prayers, we wish the good for all mankind. Maybe get to know us, Sikh. Maybe get to know us. BC whites know us very well. I'm sure in a lot of provinces they do. So before just making assumptions of who we are, learn about our faith, respect it, and maybe you can make us good friends because we can be good friends. We'll die for you. We fought in the World Wars. People don't know that. 83,000 Sikhs fought in the World Wars, which were in Europe. We didn't need to fight in them. Kamara Garumaro, people didn't want us then. We still fought. People still don't want us now, and we still contribute to the nation. And we will continue because that's what I was talking on my live. How Sikhs are one of the most stupid people. Even in India, we do so much. They basically backstab. We fought for India's independence, and look how Sikhs are treated now. And it's something that's still in Canada. It's not as bad as how we were treated in India. But I'm just speaking of it because someone has to. We're kind of fed up that the Canadian history doesn't talk about non-white contributions. And it has to change now. Thanks.